Well, he certainly has. Two stable mates and the former champion Wade. He said a very solid performer, supreme, no doubt. A real tough cookie to beat, but he has got a great record against Robert Thornton, whose form, certainly over the last 2016 season, is one he needs to turn his back on and try and start his season here and pull himself back up the rankings.
James ranked number 5 in the world, top left-hander. Not too many of them around. You have to go down to Mark Webster, who's ranked number 23, to find the next of the top left-handers. Wadey, a former winner of this tournament. And Robert Thornton, well, here's a bad sort of omen maybe. In ITV-covered events, he's lost his opening match the last 6 times he's played, which probably explains why James Wade is the 5-1 on favourite to win this.
Yeah, I think that's all down to as well. James Wade's obviously in pretty good form. Robert Thornton is almost fighting his own battle against himself at the moment, trying to get the form back. We know he's a good performer. He's won 2 majors in his career against Phil Taylor and Michael Van Gerwen, who were the best players at the time when he beat them. So it is in the locker. It's just trying to drag it back out of himself, because he is a fighter, as we know.
Wadey now 33 years old. Remember when James was the new young kid on the block. Slightly worrying when you see that he's got 1 or 2 flecks of grey in the temples now.
Yeah, he's been around a long time as James. Remember him from a couple of the early opens I used to go to in Eastbourne particularly. Played him in one of the early finals there.
7 major titles he's had.
Well,
he'd love to get another one, wouldn't he?
Well, I'm sure he would. I mean, he's just such a solid player. He almost goes under the radar on occasions on some of these TV tournaments, but when you look at his record, it's absolutely outstanding. Not just the major wins, but runners-up and semi-finals with darts like those.
First maximum of the match, and surely the first of quite a few. Great response.
It's strange as well with James Wade, isn't he? He's the player that's had the most 9 darters hit against him.
Is that right?
That's true, yeah. I'm not sure the exact amount. I'm sure little Richard will let us know, but he's had more 9 darters hit against him than any other player.
There was that famous occasion, wasn't there, when he and Robert Thornton had 9 darters in the same match.
Yeah, that's the only time that's ever happened.
Right, 101 for Wade for the first leg. Great first dart. 1 for tops. Here we go, his favourite double. And he's missed it. Usually goes the double 20 or double 10 route. Meanwhile, Thornton for a break of throw, and he gets it.
Oh, good start from Robert. Calm him down a little.
Robert's had his successes as well, hasn't he, Alan? He won the Unibet World Masters, if you go back a bit, but he won the UK Open and World Grand Prix as well. He has been a very good player on his day.
I think the biggest evaluation really of Robert, he was always a good performer on the Pro Tour, and he hasn't been doing that. And that's kind of crept onto the stage. He's fighting back. He'll certainly give it a good go this year, and he's always a hard player to beat. Just needs to get a couple of wins under his belt and get a bit of confidence back.
Only 1 PDC event quarter-final, including those floor tournaments in the whole of 2016, Robert Thornton, and I think everybody within the game would say he's a better player than that, and here he goes. That was going to be his first maximum.
He got himself in positions a lot of the times, didn't he? But he just couldn't get over the line and missed doubles. And as we saw in this tournament, when he was 8-0 up against Dave Chisnall and ended up losing the match. Incredible, really.
A heartbreaker when that happens against you. Talked about when James Wade did it to Mervyn King. I mean, when you're on the receiving end of that, it must be awful.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often in the professional game, but like any other sport, it can happen.
60. Robert, you require 100.
Well, 130 for 2-0. That's a good first dart. Treble 10 he's looking for now, and he's got it for tops.
90.
Would have been handy.
Well, he would like to hit it for obvious reasons, but more for the continuation of the match. Hitting it with your first dart oozes you with confidence for the rest of the encounter.
10s. Bit of double trouble. This is becoming more important, and it's given Wade a squeak of a chance in a leg which he didn't look as though he had a prayer in.
Well, this is what Robert's been doing. He's been playing well, And then all of a sudden, he just has those moments where he misses doubles and lets his opponent back in.
Must get now.
There you go.
It'll settle him down a bit. James's most recent PDC ranking title victory was in May last year. He won the European match play in Hamburg. Were you over there for that?
I wasn't over there for that one, but I was there when Robert won his last European Tour in Dusseldorf. Played fantastic that weekend. Some of those European Tour events, very hard to win. Big crowds now over there in Germany.
Always a fabulous atmosphere in Germany, isn't there? They do like their darts in Germany.
16.
Yeah, we're over there, I think, 9 times in 2017.
Wade is in a bit of trouble here. He's under pressure again. Another maximum from Thornton. His opener, the second of the match. And just for a moment, Wadey can't find the treble bed.
Well, a big moment in this match so far was Robert Thornton hitting that double. He did miss 4 darts, but James wasn't far enough down to give himself a shot at the double. Because if he'd have lost that leg, then the mind games would have then crept back in. But he's not had the opportunity to have those firing against him at the moment, and he's playing pretty well.
Well, 140 for Wade, but it still means that Thornton's got 6 from here. That's the wrong side of the wire. So no finish this time, but he'll return. He's missed the cover shot as well.
Well, it's a decent finish, but they only get 1 dart to take the leg. James not yet got his scoring boots on. 18 for Bull. Needs a Bull.
57.
Well, Wade 121, 20s and 11s will be the targets. 17 now, treble 17 for Bullseye. So Thornton with a chance to go 3-0. Another break of throw imminent, maybe.
Yeah, very lacklustre at the moment from James Wade.
Game shown at 3rd leg.
And with that, another leg slips away. It's a quick format, this, and if you get behind, if there's a real cushion which starts to open, James Wade just moving his shoulder around a little bit. I don't know whether it's because he feels a little bit tense or whether he's been sleeping a little bit funny and he's got a bit of an ache in there, but he's not at the moment, for whatever reason, throwing with the freedom that we normally associate with him.
Yeah, just not got himself going yet. It's a race to 10, so there is a little bit of time, more often than some of the first rounds in the TV events, but you don't have too long.
Richard Ashdown, our extraordinary statistician, has just given us the information that James Wade has had 7 9-darters against him on TV.
There you go.
And I avoided the temptation to say 7 in the time-honoured manner.
This is better from Wade. He's got to dig down in these last 2 legs before the first break. You don't want to be going in 4-1 or 5-0 down.
Well, it's a great chance now of getting a very important break back. It's a good start. Well, he's just going to stay up there with the big one, and that is a brilliant setup.
Yeah, I didn't need to look at the full option with Thornton back on 184. Thornton seems to be throwing with a lot of vigour.
Tops to get his opening leg. And there it is. Neither of them exactly producing stellar averages at the moment, but James Wade into the match now with the throw before the first break, so a chance to go into that break at 3-2, and that's a good start. Beautiful. Second maximum of the match for him.
Hit one early in that first leg, but lost it. And well, back to back, we love to see him. So does the crowd. Yes, Russ, it's a maximum.
Referee Russ Bray. That's 4 in for James. That's 5. And 5 is where it remains. The crowd would just love a little bit of a showboating check out, and look what it meant to Robert Thornton as well when he missed.
Well, that's what I like to see from somebody who's struggling for form. He's really digging in here and trying to get a result.
Be a very good win this for Robert Thornton. Lost the last 3 years in the first round to Dave Chisnall, who himself had an early exit. Lost to Raymond van Barneveld.
So he's very fast, isn't he, Robert?
He is.
Really quick.
So break after this leg. Needs a treble now for double eight, and he's missed it, so great opportunity now for Thornton to make it 4-1, Alan. This had hurt.
It would hurt, staying on the 20 route. Needs the ball for 4-1. Oh, not quite in.
So James Wade got this last time, and he's got it again, and he's pulled back another, and so goes into the break now with Thornton with just that one break of throw advantage, leading 3-2, but James Wade has got himself back into the game. A big crowd here in Milton Keynes for the first round of the Unibet Masters, continuing this evening. James Wade and Robert Thornton playing for the right to face either A.D. Lewis or Kim Huybrechts in the next round, and Thornton with the break of throw.
Gentlemen, six-leg Robert at front first.
Yeah, set off like a train, didn't he? 3-0 up, but fair play to James. He got his game back on track. Taking those last two legs before the first break at 3-2 going in. He'll certainly come out for this second phase feeling a little bit better about things.
As ever, Robert looks up for a scrap. He's been throwing with a bit of purpose in the early stages of this match, but if he keeps spraying them around like that, he's going to start to feel a tad deflated.
Yeah, it looked almost manic, didn't it? I mean, his walk-on music suggests he walks 500 miles. He looked like he was running in the first 4 or 5 legs.
James is settling down now. He's a hot favourite to win this one, of course. James Wade quoted at 22-1 when the tournament started to win the thing, which I suppose if you're looking for a value bet, he's an outsider, isn't he?
He certainly is. I mean, you look at his record and what he's achieved. He's won this tournament before. And we've always said his greatest attribute is his composure. He didn't panic when he was 3-0 down, got himself back in the match.
125.
Watched as ever by Sam, former walk-on girl, who's had such a fantastic impact on James and his darting life. Brilliant darts there from Robert Thornton, his third maximum.
Well, James normally goes for treble 7 tops, but he went for 25 on that occasion, hit the ball.
Tops. Oh, he's missed it. That could be costly. That's a big miss.
James, you require 8.
Yeah, certainly is. Will he be punished? Double 2. Well, he got there in the end. From 3-0 down, James Wade pulls it back to 3-3, and this is the moments when the mind games might start affecting Robert Thornton with all these problems he had last year and the bad performances and bad results.
Some of that little bit of stiffness which James Wade felt in his throwing arm earlier on might have been. He seems to have sorted himself out now, and you get a few legs on the board and suddenly those little niggles are forgotten.
They certainly are. And he looks like he's in a little bit more of a cruise control than he was in the first 10 minutes of the encounter. Robert still scrapping away. What he's got to remember is, despite being 3-0 up and back to 3-3, it's still a level match. Still a lot to play for.
Boisterous crowd
99.
giving their support for the players. And I hope you're enjoying it wherever you are around the country. Great atmosphere here. It'll be a great atmosphere in my home city, Lincoln, tonight. There'll be a few knees up in my locals watching this, I should imagine. Very happy they are with their FA Cup success.
I saw your joyous smile, John, when I walked in the arena. You were a very happy man.
How could you not? I was listening to Radio Lincolnshire this afternoon and hearing them
46.
getting one of the great results in their history.
Yeah, fantastic for them. The FA Cup always throws it up. The FA Cup of Darts in March. Here on ITV.
Wade, a chance to go ahead in the match for the first time now. Double 10, doesn't often miss this. He has this time though. Double 7, that's a tricky one.
I can't believe he was so far off it.
Isn't quite what you were wanting, was it, my boy? Now then, is that a good marker? He's having to move along the hockey. Great dart.
Yeah, very good dart. Certainly when he's missed double 10 by such a distance. Stopped himself in his tracks, didn't he, and composed himself and hit the double 7. So, looking good at the moment for Wade. Robert's got to dig deep here.
Wade's on a bit of a roll and Robert needs to slow it down. As you say, he's got to dig in. He's got that scrapper's reputation, and he needs to scrap his way back to it. He needs to stop the rot. I think this is an important leg for him.
Well, despite there being 6 maximums, 3 apiece, it hasn't been, to be fair, the highest quality match so far, both averaging just around the 90 mark. These players certainly a little bit better than that.
Well, there's his 4th, the 7th of the match. But Thornton now with a chance to get back on level terms. That's a good first dart. Now tops. Oh yes, 116. Back level.
Well, that will make him feel 10 foot taller, I can assure you. Apart from the scoreline, taking out a finish.
60.
It looks almost like one of those men in the waiting room for his wife to have the baby, doesn't he? He's up and down like a yo-yo. He really is quite manic around the back of the stage. Itching to get there to throw.
He's up for it tonight, is Robert Thornton. And after the problems that he's had, it is certainly good to see.
The result means everything, John, though. Yeah, when you've not been getting them. It really does. Sometimes you just need to fall over the line, in effect, just to get that win.
There were a few spare seats around last night, but it is absolutely rammed in here this evening. And same again tomorrow as well, as it moves into the latter stages. A great day of darts for you tomorrow on ITV4. Don't miss it, for goodness sake.
60.
Already had a fantastic win tonight from Mensah-Sulovic. Very impressive with a 10+ average. And his 10-4 win over Yola Klassen. But a certain Michael van Geuring as well.
Yeah, well, it's never dull when he's around, is it? And they'll wizard up against him, Simon Whitlock, one of the game's characters.
Needed the treble, yeah, couldn't quite get it. You can see him, he's fighting away, isn't he? He's really giving it his all. That is good to see, but again, it is the result that matters.
Well, that now means that Thornton is favourite to win this. This is a break opportunity, and he's certainly been up for it. He's got that combative look about him tonight, and this is big. Tops. Oh dear.
I mentioned about him rushing. He did look quite rushed there on the double 10 and was quite a distance away from it.
Good darts. Tops now for Wade for 5-4. And a clinical 85 checkout. Big opportunity missed by Robert Thornton.
He'll be seething, I can assure you. Great start to this leg, but he will be seething that he missed 2 darts at the double. But, to be fair to him, he's shaken that off and started the leg with a maximum.
Start with a maximum and then follow it with a 60. If Wade gets a ton 40 now, he's back into it.
He needs another to stay there, really. Maybe not enough, well, certainly not at this stage of the leg. He's all around the board.
He's demonstrative, isn't he? Doesn't do anything to conceal his feelings, Robert, when he feels that he's made a bit of a hash of it.
Gives himself a hard time.
Tough critic of his own performance. That's more like it.
Start the leg with a maximum at 140 really gives him a chance to go in at the second break. 5 apiece, but he's going to have to get it.
That certainly puts some pressure on. He got 85 last time, Wade. He's got treble 6 there. So he's on 48, so he gets the 8 for tops. And now James Wade can make it 6-4.
On the wire. But he punished it with 85 in the last leg. Same equation here. One more in his hand. Oh, not happy with that last dart, James Wade.
I didn't expect him to miss that one. So Thornton gets the double 10. And he has broken back. And it's now 5 apiece. Still a pick and match. Wadey was the hot favourite to prevail in this. But it's all square as they go into the second break. 5-all. Crowd loving the action here in Milton Keynes. Before the interval, Robert Thornton gets that double 10, and you can see how much it means to him. Yep, I'm still in there. It's 5-all.
Yeah, that was a big leg, that one before that break. Could have been 6-4 down. Would have started playing mind games with himself again. But to be fair to Thornton, he's digging in there, and he's got that look about him, John, that if you met him in an alley, you'd run the other way.
Yeah, he's small of stature but big of heart. The impression that in a sticky situation he wouldn't back down particularly easily.
He's like a Rottweiler with a machete.
More like a Scottie, isn't he? Or a little Cairn Terrier.
Oh, I think I was right, John. Great lad though, digging in here, which is good to see.
Now James Wade back with back-to-back 140s.
Slip there from Robert.
41.
Scottish flag.
Yeah, they love the darts in Bonnie, Scotland. Been up there many a time.
100.
It's a new shirt there that James Wade has got, hasn't he? Certainly not going to get lost in the wash, is it?
100. James, you require 121.
When I first looked at it, I wondered what was on the back. Thought it was a street name.
65.
Thornton's still a long way back. Wade looks as though he's going to take this one comfortably. As Louis once sang, he has all of the time in the world.
56.
16 for tops. To nudge ahead again. Double 10.
36.
Well, a sneak of an opportunity for Thornton, 160. But it's not to be, so Wade will come back on one of his favoured doubles, the double 10.
Normally his favourite. Gets it with the second dart. 6-5 ahead.
Do you have a favourite double, Alan?
Anyone I can hit, John.
I meant back in the heyday, not nowadays.
I think my rate was always the double 16 area. Split it down 8-4. If you miss.
Well, that's his 5th maximum of the match already, and the 9th of the match. There's not been high scores overall, but when it comes to maximums, they are hitting them. James Wade, who has that unwanted statistic of maximums against him, 7 in televised matches, but he's done it himself as well.
Yeah, he's had a couple himself.
Not when I'm in the commentary box, needless to say, but...
Have you never done one, John? A 9-darter? You've never mentioned it.
As the whole country knows.
Needs another to leave a finish. Great last one. Great last start there from Wade.
So he'll be the first to have a dip at it, but Thornton can do no more than try and put pressure on it, and he's not really done that.
He's leaving himself hard work on quite a lot of occasions and not quite doing it on some of them. He's digging in there, to be fair to him.
He's had a 1-1-6, Robert. Now he needs a 1-1-8. Needs a treble for double 19. Not there this time, so you'd expect Wadey to clean this one up for a break.
Well, you don't want to leave your opponent with 3 darts in hand when he's on the double. And he's paid the price.
Back from the break, 2 on the spin for James Wade, and now needs only another 3 to take his place in the next round. And that's quarter-final match, which would be against either A.D. Lewis or Kim Huybrechts, which is the last match of this evening. And if you're just joining us, wondering what Michael van Gerwen's up to, well, he's the next on after this.
Yeah, the reigning champion, world number 1, new crowned world champion.
Reigning champion in just about everything nowadays, isn't he? There's a Richard Harris story like that, wasn't he? The old film star. He said that he was going to nip out to the shop to go and get a pint of milk, and he met somebody there who was going off to the Canary Islands and talked him into going with him, and he was away for 2 weeks.
57.
I'm just worried about the person sat at home with a cold cup of tea with no milk in.
Well, James sees the amusing side of that, and then it produces a very good last start. So no finish for Robert Thornton, so James Wade in with another shout here of putting a 3-leg cushion in.
Yeah, and he would put him 2 legs away. And now needs treble 20 for double 18. Not to be, so a chance for Thornton to try and dig his way back in the match.
It's important, this, Alan. This is a pretty big moment if he's going to have a chance of doing this. 16. Oh, he's missed it. He needed the big 16. Robbie, he says. He's hit the 7 and so couldn't do it.
Big mistake. Double 8. One more left in hand for 8-5. Thornton will be a very relieved man.
He'll be a pretty fortunate man if he comes through this. Tops them, and he's got it. Bobby George once said to me, you know, when you're on 3, he said 1 double 1. He said the big 1 is almost harder than the double, because you know if you miss it, the whole audience is going to think, what a prat.
90.
I think Bobby'd be good in it. He always ends up on double 1.
He'll be watching, he'll come looking for you.
Oh, he'll tell me off. I love him to bits. He knows that.
It's back on throw now, this. With that break from Thornton, that's a good visit.
Well, quite conceivably, should have been 8-5 down. If he can take this leg back to 7 apiece. We mentioned about digging his way back in the match. He's almost done that.
He never lies down, does he? And look at that, prime example. His 5th maximum, 10th of the match. Thundering them in.
Well, it certainly gives him something to chew on. Whatever happens here in the rest of this match for the rest of the season, because he had a stinker last year, really.
Good first start, now double 8.
78. James require 121.
Ouch was the cry from Robert Thornton. Oh, long way off there. Long way off.
79.
Well, double 4, this is, I think, probably crucial now if he's going to have a chance of winning this game. Double 4, double 2, huge. And he's got it! Yes!
Well, you cannot deny the Scotsman producing the goods.
100.
Sometimes to get that win, you just need to drag yourself over the line. Forget about the huge averages. Just get that win.
60.
Very important.
Averages are kind of for ego, aren't they? It's the W which is the most important statistic of all.
Well, you ask any player, they'll say exactly that, John. It's all about the win.
We heard Raymond van Barneveld talking at the top of the programme. Let's see if he can get another maximum. He can. That's his 6th. We heard Barney at the top of the programme. Of course, he famously averaged 109 in the World Championships and wound up losing 6-2 to Michael van Gerwen.
100.
It happens.
Well, we saw Phil Taylor, didn't we? Was it 114 average or something like that in the Premier League? Lost to Barneveld.
Yep.
The world record for a loss in averages. Just shows you how crazy this game can be sometimes.
Thornton not on a finish while we were discussing that, and Wade, oh yes, his 6th maximum. It's 6 apiece now.
Well, we'll talk about timing. That was perfect timing. He's not left the best double, but he's left a double.
He'll not go straight at it, will he? No. Double 10. Wrong side of the wire. Double 5. Oh, good darts.
Very important leg, that one. Thornton hit a maximum. But it was Wade that got the maximum towards the end of the leg.
Somebody's singing from my hymn sheet there.
Has to take this one, Thornton. Has to take it.
And it's coming down to the business end of this match. It's been nip and tuck all the way. First to 10, remember.
100.
And if it goes to the deciding leg, it goes to 9 apiece, then Wade would have the advantage of throwing first. Oh, good darts.
First and foremost, and the only thing that will be on Robert Thornton's mind, is taking this leg and moving on to the next one.
So 136, and he's got 6 darts. He'll need them. Maybe just a treble here. He can't find it. So not a bad lead, though.
There can be dangerous moments, can't there, when you almost look like you're so far ahead, you don't hit a treble, your opponent does. He leaves a finish, all of a sudden you're under pressure on the finish you're on. That's how quickly the leg can change.
76. 16 would leave tops. He's got it this time, in we go. No.
56. James require 96.
Big visit. Went for double 18, you can't blame him for it.
74.
We've done without that double 18 with the last start, but it was immaterial as it happened because Thornton gets back onto level terms again. What an extraordinary thing to do. You come along with a ventriloquist doll to the... that's almost unbelievable. Interesting conversation we said yesterday. Some of these guys, they come here in taxis and you sort of... oh, there he is. You get into the taxi and you say, can you take me to the darts, please? And you're dressed like that.
43.
Yeah, certainly a big part of the crowd, isn't it now? the fancy dress. They love dressing up and just coming for the night out.
And then he turned up, sat himself down, probably thinking how cool he looked, and it's the ventriloquist dummy that gets the kiss and not him.
Poor visit from Thornton with the last one. He's got to make up for it. Just about okay.
Nothing in it in scores in this leg. Oh, wow, that's a bit of a wild one. Smile from James, and a glimmer of an opportunity here for Thornton if he can jump on this.
It's a big opportunity. He's going to have to go for the bull with the last one though. Single 20 would have left a bogey number. 25 leaves the 170 finish.
To raise the roof if he could do that for a break of throw. There's never been a 170 in Milton Keynes, at least not in this particular arena. They
60. James requires.
Players just trying to jump over this line here. Treble 18. Double 12. Puts him one away.
74.
Now then, this is a chance for the break of throw. Good dart. 10 would leave tops. Tops then, huge. Oh, he's missed it.
James required 24.
Must be 4 or maybe 5 occasions, John. That last dart in hand, and he's just wired tops or just missed it. Wade is struggling. Oh, not in. So Thornton gets another opportunity.
Do you see the reaction of Robert Thornton when that missed? Come on, he said. And in it goes, and that's the break of throw. And now just needs to hold, and he'll be through to the next round.
James not sure there, was just checking that it is the first to 10. So he now realises if he loses this one, he's out.
59.
Yeah, he's in a little bit of a scrape here, isn't he? But that's not a good start from Thornton. All the experience of James Wade is being called into question here.
Well, again, if he can win the leg, Sammy will know that as well. He will then be the favourite, throwing first in the last one, as you mentioned earlier, John.
What a good time to find a 148.
Well, he needed it after the first visit, didn't he?
100.
Well, this is tense now. You can sense it in the arena. The crowd know it.
I was just going to say, we'll move over to the 18s.
83.
So looking at a finish already in the leg.
Wade chasing a ton or more.
100.
Well, that puts him on the finish, but it's a big one now. Can Thornton put him under massive pressure? That's a great start. And another tremendous start. Oh, look at that. That's as good as a maximum, and in the context of the match.
Well, he's just given him 2 uppercuts, hasn't he? But this would be a knockout. It really would be a knockout. James Wade 161 for 9 apiece, and he milks the applause. And why not?
What a time to do that, Alan. What a time. It looked for all the world as though Thornton was closing in on victory, and you hit your man with a 161 checkout. Now, adrenaline rush. Can he harness the concentration again now?
Well, Robert Thornton must be thinking, when things go against you, you just had a fantastic visit to lead him on the brink. But he's firing in again here.
Well, how about that for a start in the deciding leg? And Wade might now have to produce another huge finish if he's going to win this one, because he's effectively lost the throw, and Thornton now has the advantage.
37.
Wanted more, but at the moment only 85 and 60 from Wade. That maximum from Thornton, what a beauty it was.
60.
Still getting the breath back from that 161 checkout. Now Thornton moving towards a finish, needs another. Oh, great dart, great dart.
He knows he's in a really good position here. He's trying to keep his concentration, trying to keep the flow. And Wadey is all over.
Well, that doesn't help at all, does it? 124, 6 from here.
Just going to say, we'll stay there. 84, stay up there again. Leaves himself double 12 for what would be an amazing win. It really would, for lots of different reasons.
Yeah, he's not been in a good place with his game for a fair while, Robert Thornton, and this would mean just a huge amount to him if he could put this away here. Wade's on a finish. Thornton double 12, double 6. And he's done it! He has done it! He's back in the winner's enclosure, and a real sporting look of congratulations from James Wade, because he's been in bad places in his career, and he knows how much that means to Robert Thornton. He really did grit his teeth and scrap for that, and eventually taken it by the narrowest of margins into the next round. He's beaten James Wade and upset the odds. He's taken it by 10 legs to 9. Well played.